Our resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guy. With flipping ain't easy by your side.
Just rocking out to my own intro, guys. What's going on? Hopefully everyone's cool out there. Happy Monday, everyone. Jenna will be here in a little bit. Let me just tell you, she's not sitting here right now because we had just a ton of orders over the weekend, and we kind of went against kind of a quasi policy we made a while ago where if we get so many packages, maybe we do like half of them on Sunday night. So I think that's going to have to be the thing here. Maybe regardless of volume, because you never know how many items you're going to sell late night Sunday into Monday morning. So just get half the packages done. What else are you doing anyway, unless you're gone, maybe coming back from somewhere? Get half the volume done so that on Monday we don't have this kind of thing, because she literally just got finished about 30 minutes ago and she's just going at it, right? And of course I can't go in there and help her because she's like, get out of my way. So I'm not, look, when she's focused and in her zone, I know not to get in her way and to try to mess with her. So she had lost her box cutter, and she's like, where the hell did I put my box cutter? And I immediately left the room because it's like I'm not getting involved in that because I was busy anyway. So good news is both carriers have come, FedEx, USPS, and she's going to have to, they came a little early and she wasn't done with the last FedEx package, so she's going to have to make a run to FedEx. This is the way it's going to be. So she'll join us here in a little bit. But wanted to talk to you guys about a few things, and I think one kind of caught me by surprise. What the title of this live is kind of caught me by surprise, but I think finding it, stumbling across it. I think Ina Steiner at E-commerce Bytes also kind of stumbled across it in looking at this whole international shipping with the de minimis exception and all that that's ending here at I believe the end of the month. And so I want to start out with that, and then we will talk about the changes to or your feedback removal, the eBay policy on removing your feedback. And I think a lot of people are going to be kind of upset about this. But let's get on to the first thing that led me to that, and then we'll kind of talk about it here. Now, eBay international shipping coming to Canada. That's the good news, right? eBay just announced this today. With end of de minimis looming, will it be too little, too late? And so eBay has announced they'll be expanding international shipping service to help Canadian sellers navigate cross-border trade challenges. And but with looming de minimis and tariff changes, will it be too late? And I want to know what you guys, if you guys even care about this, but what you guys think about all this here in the chat. And I'm going to get my volume up because I realize it's probably not as where it needs to be. Today's announcement says it's good for sellers, but they'll have to wait until October for it to be up and running. So this is not going to be something that's happening right away. It's not going to launch until October, which is kind of in line with a lot of the things that eBay announced on at eBay Open anyway. This new program enables Canadian sellers to access buyers around the world with eBay handling international shipping, customs and tariffs, and even returns. What it means, even if you've already had an international shipping policy in place, eBay International Shipping can provide you and your customers with more options to ship across borders and peace of mind. eBay will handle customs. They'll handle all international returns, which is always a good thing. They protect you against claims like not received and chargebacks, and you have control of choosing if you like to exclude shipping to any certain countries. And then eligible sellers will automatically be enrolled starting in October for eligible listings on eBay Canada and CAFR eBay Canada. I have no idea what that is. And to boost your eligibility and likelihood of being enrolled, add your manufacturer, country of origin for these listings. So that's when that's going to happen for Canadian sellers. Thought I'd slip that in for the Canadian folks in here. Whoops, that's the wrong link. Sorry. International Postal Services scrambled to sort out tariffs an end of de minimis with some pausing U.S. shipments. Now, this is a few days ago. This is on the Value Added Resource site, thanks to Liz Morton. U.S. Customs and Border Protection has approved Zonos and Safe Package as qualified third-party solutions for collecting and paying duties on international shipments ahead of the de minimis exemption. The problem here lies in that Canadian sellers are going to have problems when selling into the United States market. Let me put it that way, because of the tariffs and all that. International post services are scrambling to catch up with the latest changes to tariffs and the end of the duty-free de minimis exemption for low-value packages. I think that's under $800, with some temporary pausing shipments in the U.S. as a result. So August 20th, I don't know what Omniva Estonia is, but they say due to newly imposed custom duties by the United States, Omniva will temporarily suspend delivery of parcels containing goods to the U.S. starting from August 20th. So it's already happened a few days ago, and they will resume parcel shipments to the USA as soon as possible. Lithuanian Post has already started it, and Germany, and it's just a lot of these folks who are overseas, who are going to have to deal with these tariffs, are not able to really, they are able to ship in the U.S., but they have chosen not to deal with these things because it's just going to cause too big of a problem. So, I'd go check out valueaddedresource.net for more information if you want information on that. So I'm not going to bore you with that. Now, that led me to looking at the policy. Excuse me, whenever I have this fan on, it makes my nose itch, so I apologize for that. We get into the feedback policy. Now, I don't know, what does mailing internationally have to do with feedback? It's because the article here by Ina Steiner, eBay snuck in bad news regarding auto feedback. So they got me looking too. And so she's talking about all the changes that eBay announced with seller protections and things that will be coming here September and October. But what the reality is, when you go to the eBay feedback policy, the first thing that pops up is changes to global regulations. Now, I don't know why global regulations have anything to do with this policy, because they didn't put any spin on it. But it says changes to global regulations mean that from September 3rd, that's a week from Wednesday, we will no longer automatically remove negative or neutral feedback in the following return situations. So if the seller offers free returns, you handle the return and issued a refund. Right now, currently, eBay's removing that negative feedback. Okay? As of the 3rd, that ain't happening anymore. Okay? An item was returned, used, or damaged, and the seller deducted an amount. So if you use the refund tool, because the buyer did you dirty, they returned something that was broken, not the same, or whatever, and you deducted up to 50%. Hopefully you're only using 50% because it makes no sense. Just give them a full refund if you're going to do less. eBay's not going to remove your negative or neutral feedback. Now, sellers who've had feedback removed in the last 12 months in either of these situations have been notified in their seller news email of this upcoming change. I didn't see it. Any feedback removed under our current policy will not be reinstated when the new policy takes effect. So it's not going to go back and say, well, we took it off because of your free returns policy. What's done is done. They're not going to put the feedback back. I mean, I guess that's their spin in saying, hey, I mean, at least it's not all bad news, right? This goes on to say, we're committed to making, here's the spin. We're committed to making it easier for great service to get recognized. Starting September 3rd, we'll automatically leave positive feedback for sellers when. So this starts also on the 3rd. You get automatic feedback put into your account when the seller delivered the order on time with tracking, the buyer hasn't reported a problem, and the buyer hasn't already left feedback for the seller. That's it. That is the policy. So here's the bad news, and we'll give you the good news kind of thing. They never mentioned to us at eBay Open that they were going to take these protections away. I know there's a lot of people that are like, with my situation, you guys know about the Puerto Rican mechanic that I've been dealing with. Well, he's not a mechanic, apparently. Scammer. I have to say it's a scammer. and a lot of you guys had a lot of supportive comments in that video. The situation was not quite complete when that video was dropped. I was just kind of saying, hey, this guy's shaking me down right now. But I wanted to show you what I'm seeing when I looked at his feedback. This is what we were dealing with. So I'll jump over to that real quick. So you see this. This is one of his feedbacks. This is a scam. There's another feedback, and no positives at all, right? Just looking for negative. Don't buy this purchase. Like a toy, very bad material, so weak. Very bad material. Scam, not function. This is scam. I mean, I don't understand all that, but that's not all. If I can get to the other part of this scam diatribe that this guy has, I'll put it on the screen here. Here we go. Bad material, no communication of vendor, no fix the product. A lot of that. No communication of vendor, the parts, no fix. So essentially what I did since the video, if you guys watch the video, of course, watch the video. If you haven't watched the video, watch the video. But this guy bought an AC compressor for his, heck, I think a Honda Civic or something. Brand new condition, nothing wrong with it. We shipped it out to this guy. It got to them on Wednesday. Friday, I get this weird message saying there's a problem and this is a scam, something of that nature. And I'm like, what? So I replied, says, can you tell me what the problem is so I can help? And he comes back with just, really some nonsense that he had to pay for are you going to reimburse me for 2 tanks of gas and his time and the 2 trips to the technician? I guess that's what they call a mechanic. And it's like, no, eBay doesn't work that way. We do take returns, and we'll be glad to take your return. And at the time, I just thought it was maybe, just a misunderstanding. But the more the conversation went, the more I was determined that this guy was trying to scam me. And I think he is. I'm trying to get this thing to size up so I can show you. It's not going to show it to me. So I don't want to show I really don't want to show the name of the guy because we're still doing the transaction. I may do a follow-up video on this, but he says, where to put my feedback for this purchase. That's one of the first things he said. This is a scam. And I said, hello, how do I know you received this item? I do show that you received this item on Wednesday. Please let me know what's wrong. Thank you. The compressor was installed and sounds. This faulty is rebuilt compressor? He said, where can I leave my feedback? Me and my family scammed, and I had to buy another compressor and pay the technician twice. Okay, so if you paid the technician twice, you have a working compressor. You have my compressor. Send it back. I'll give you a refund. I said, there's no scam. We sell to thousands of buyers every year without problems. With that said, if there is a problem with the compressor, I can provide a return label through eBay if you would like to return it. And he says, okay, you're going to pay the 2 months, the 2 mounts, the 2 empty, the 2 gas refills, and the technician? Sounds like he's shaking me down for something, right? So, I come back with, things happen all the time with returns. And that's kind of where we left off at the video. I decided to take a different tack. I said, you know what? I want this guy to spell out exactly what he wants me to do for him because anything above and beyond eBay, this is reportable. And, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy because I got to tell you, I see 17 other sellers who got a negative feedback from this guy, and I don't think, based on looking at some of the replies that I showed you there, I think a lot of it was unwarranted. And this may be his shakedown scam. See, a lot of projection going on there. First thing he tells me is scam. I'm scamming you. Really, he's scamming me. Trying to, at least, but that ain't going to work here. So I came back and said, what are you specifically asking me to do? And then he says, you in my position, what would you expect? See, he's kind of catching on to it. I said, I have provided a solution by returning the item. You have made it clear that is not acceptable to you. What exactly are you asking for me to do to resolve this into your satisfaction? He said, it's not about satisfaction. It's just right. I want my money back. I had to pay 2 times mount, 2 times empty, 2 times gas refill, technician. I have no idea what that means. Maybe it's a language barrier. Maybe it's the translation. I don't know. I said, I'm just trying to understand what you'd like me to do for you. The least I hope is that you'll send me my money back. So here it is. Doesn't want to send the item back. I wonder why. It's probably because it's in his car and it's keeping him cool while he's typing me back on this. Are you asking me to refund you for more than the price of the item? How much is that? So I'm trying to get him to commit. Send my money back. I just said, okay, that's it. I just said, send me the, please follow eBay policy and open a return. We'll then provide you a return label so you can send our compressor back to us. I said, also, did you know you're not allowed to ask for a refund without first sending the item back to us? You're not allowed to ask the seller to any, and of course you can ask all you want, but I'm just going to say this. You're not allowed to ask the seller for any additional money either, you know, for the technician and the mount and the 2 tanks of gas. I said there will be no refund unless you send back the same item we sent you in the same condition as you received it. This is the way eBay works. I will be contacting eBay to let them know about the conversation where you asked me to send you money for the part, 2 tanks of gas, and the money for the technician. You're not allowed to ask for a refund for more than the item itself, and the seller is allowed to ask you to send their item back first. I have that right as a seller. And he says, I didn't ask for additional money. I told him everything I spent on 2 occasions for his damaged compressor. And then I sent him a quote of what he sent me, you know, what he told me. He wanted, are you going to pay me for the 2 mounts and the gas and the... So I said, at this point, there's nothing more I could say other than to have you open a return. I've reached out to eBay and they're going to wait to see how you handle the transaction. So I sent them, I reported the buyer. And of course, they didn't tell me they're going to wait and see, but I want to slow him down. I want him to be under the impression that he needs to be on his P's and Q's handling this because eBay's watching. And they may be. I don't know, but we'll see. Now, if he leaves me a negative, he leaves me a negative. I'm not going to really go any further with this guy. So that's just it. And to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't even entertain him any further if I didn't have an eBay YouTube channel. I just probably wouldn't do it. This is more, I probably would have blocked him by now and then just said, hey, do what you're going to do. Because really, I've had my share of negative feedbacks over this last year. I know they don't hurt your account the way that it used to. I know that I can reply to these things and maybe even, I think I can provide a photo or two of, here's what this guy's been doing to other sellers, because they can send photos for us. I'm not sure in a reply if we can send a photo, but I haven't tried, to be honest with you. And just to show here's the guy who's leaving me negative feedback. This is what he does to sellers. So you take it for what you want, and I'll just move on. So I want to know what you guys think of that. And look, in my video I put out this week, I talked about, look, this is kind of making me feel soured on the whole Puerto Rican shipment thing. I know there's a lot of good people there, but there's also a lot of people who are trying to get over or are very impatient, and it could be just a cultural thing. I don't know, but it's very, very difficult sometimes when you're dealing, like I'm dealing with somebody in Saipan. It's like they opened an item not received request and they haven't received it. It's like also eBay should maybe temper some of these expectations for some of these customers when it's obvious that if you're shipping at Ground Advantage, it's going to more than likely, and I did find this out, under £1, shipping to like to Puerto Rico, that last leg will go by, sometimes will go by air. Like if you're shipping to Hawaii, that last leg overseas will go by air if it's under £1, and if it's over £1, it's going to go by boat, and that's just going to slow the whole thing down. So I take a breath, but I wanted to get that all in. I don't like these long diatribes, but it is what it is. Hopefully you guys get the information that you came here for, and hopefully you're going to hang out with us and just, I'm going to go over some things too, but get the meat and potatoes out there for you guys at the beginning of the show. So I do know that Keith was first, so thanks for being here, Keith. And I did see someone's up to something. We had Gail Carlson. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that so much. You guys, I gotta say, this community is awesome. This community is awesome. And there's a lot of things I want to say. and maybe I'll say them, in regards to like other content that's been put out there that it's been on my mind. But I just want you guys to know that you guys are absolutely awesome, and just know that the best thing I did for this channel was to introduce lives to the channel instead of just doing the pre-recorded content, because I would have dropped off of this map a long time ago. It's the community that keeps me coming back to be here and to do these things. And it's not like I'm doing it because, oh crap, I got a 3 o'clock live today. Man, no, it's not like that at all. I look forward to it. I work everything around this whole schedule because it's that important to us. And I say us because she looks forward to it too. She just got caught up in a lot of work, so hopefully she can get in here and join us. But thank you for the super chat. I certainly do appreciate that. Yes, please hit the like button. Hopefully, like I said, you guys will hang with us for a little while. Do want to talk about sales, and I think a lot of you guys are interested. Oops, hold on, something's happening. Okay, I go to this other screen and it starts playing the intro to this video, so I apologize for that. How are your sales this weekend? We're getting close to the end of summer, and for me the summer is from Memorial Day to Labor Day, and then everything outside of that is not part of this whole summer slowdown. But again, this is the third year in a row where I can say summer's outstanding for us. And so again, it lends to the question as to what is this summer slowdown, and why do some people have it and others don't? Why do some people see a slowdown after the summer and some don't? They see an increase in sales after the summer. Now, I guess the logical thing to say is it almost exclusively has something to do with what you're selling, and there's probably a lot of truth to that, but I really just feel like there's other outside factors that we're not considering, like my slowdowns. And we'll find out, because I have a full storage unit of stuff. My slowdowns have come from, in Q4, have come from running out of good inventory to sell, because and in fact, I was out this last weekend picking up a carload of stuff at the places that I go to, and man, we had to sit in line out the parking lot into the street. I've never seen that happen. And so I'm thinking to myself, here we go. This is the start of it. We're going to have, it's going to be hard to get this stuff. So now, since then, since the storage unit, adding that in November, I've also added a couple other sources, right? It's always good to do that. That's helpful. And I've seen some good product from that as well. So I am very, very hopeful that I've identified my Q4 problems. But for many, this is like leaving a bad time and entering in a very profitable time. And it just makes me wonder, why is that? For some sellers, it's like the opposite effect. Want to know what you guys may think about that. Mike Mecco Meetup says, hi, John and Jen and FAE family. My sales have continued to be strong since I got home, planning on listing consistently through the month, so my sales will also be strong when I go to Tennessee in September. You are like right around the corner from that. And I must say that I was extremely tempted to book a flight to Tennessee for September, but I feel like that wouldn't be fair to Jenna. We just have a problem. The problem is we have very, very old animals that are very, very dependent upon us, and the idea of having them in anyone's care. I mean, my son, maybe they do okay at his house, but they are kind of getting up there old, dealing with health, starting to deal with health issues and stuff. And look, maybe in a couple of years, and look, we all have pets and stuff, and who knows, my pets might live another 5-10 years. I don't know, but once they are our priority. They are like our kids, and it's no different than leaving your kid with just some random person, or if they have a health issue, is it probably the best thing to do in travel? So for now, I'd say Tennessee, going to that event is not in the cards for us. I mean, we do a lot of things. We're not doing a lot of things we'd like to do. I mean, we'd like to go on a trip. We'd like to go on a vacation. we're not really able to kind of do it. The only way that we can get away is it's like, honey, she's going on Wednesday. She's going to fly over to California, visit with her sisters and family and that for about 2 weeks, and then come back and I'll hold down the fort. It's kind of how we do it, but it kind of sucks that we can't do these things together. But at the same time, you know, you have obligations. So no Tennessee for us, it looks like. And again, I'd go, but I don't want to make her feel like, you know, it sucks you get to go and I can't. So Thomas S. So number 3. So nice to see you, Thomas S. It says, I didn't know you also did reselling. Thought it was just a meetup business you ran. Cool. I did subscribe after seeing you here on John's Live. So yes, go check out Mike Metco Meetups channel. He is the guy that will kind of talk about most meetups on a nationwide level. If you have a meetup that you're planning that's a little bit bigger than your own little group of people in your hometown, get a hold of Mike, and he'll help promote it. Thomas S. says, I use Pirate Ship 98% of the time. Back when I started using it, the cost break they gave were exactly the same discount as eBay. Is this still true, or has it changed? It's about the same. Now, what I've noticed is, at least with our discount, it looks to me like the eBay rates may be just a little bit better with USPS than on Pirate Ship right now. But you know, I might be wrong on that. Just from what I've seen, I've compared a couple, a label that I ran on Pirate Ship as was going to run as compared to the same label that I ran, you know, just going the other direction, and it was a couple dollars more. Thomas S. says, sorry, trying to get my questions in extra early. My full-time job starts at 3 in the morning, and I'm usually asleep when this live ends. Wow, I'm sorry about that. How do we get you to full-time? And maybe full-time's not in the cards for everyone, but I got to tell you, it's probably been the biggest improvement in my life is leaving the corporate world. I had a lot of good things going for me in the corporate world. I am in a fantasy football league with people from my old job, and they're wondering if I'm doing okay because they haven't, are you guys okay? I said, okay. I said, I'm doing better right now financially than I was doing when I was working the 9 to 5, when both of us were at a 9 to 5. I was working my own department and she was an agent at the call center. We're doing better now. I'm not getting taxed to death over, out in California. Not getting union dues to death. Of course, I'm still paying into my insurance and all that. That might change because of what stuff I'm dealing with. I'll talk to you guys about that here in a little bit. But I got to tell you, there's something about making that switch, and I wouldn't recommend everyone do it. Not the way I did it. We were kind of forced to do it. But have your ducks in a row if you're going to do it. So don't make that jump from part-time to full-time unless you got something really good going on, and it starts with your sourcing on that. Keith says, I got a pallet of electronics coming in and a whole lot of other bits to go through and sort. That's exciting. I like going through I like gadgets. I'm just a big gadget guy. Thomas S. says, been with UPS for 26 years today. I'm so done getting up early. Can't wait for retirement. So that's awesome. Something about retirement. I don't know whether to look forward to it or to kind of dread it. I mean, that means one thing, that you're getting even older. I'm in my early 50s and 51, right? I just the idea of being in my 60s and still being 6 to 7 years away from retirement, because I can't retire until 67 from railroad retirement. I don't get Social Security. It's all funneled in through railroad retirement because I spent most of my life, 26 years, in the railroad business. There's a little sidebar action. That's what happens when people get here early. Thomas says, all the postage adjustments come from scales and lasers in the belt system that break all the time at UPS, which cause crazy and wrong adjustments. I see firsthand how often they break. And that sucks too. Here's a good thing. I received an email from from eBay saying you got one of your labels adjusted. And I'm like, uh-oh, how much are you charging me now? And oddly enough, they had a $19 refund coming my way. I'm like, I didn't realize, because I'm not running the labels. Jenna's running the labels, so maybe she, ran a label that was charging her too much and she didn't even realize it. I don't think she puts a lot of focus on, is this costing too much? I did run into a situation, and this is something that some people might want to try to look at on their own items, because that could be why their larger items aren't selling. I had an item that's pretty good size. It sold, but it took a while to sell. And I looked at it and I'm like, man, this is like a $60 item, and they paid like $90 something to ship it. And I'm like, that shouldn't be. So I looked at it, and it was going Ground Advantage when it should have been FedEx. So I looked at the difference, and I figured it was like $36. I sent the guy the $36 and explained it, hey, we just overcharged it. This is going to go by FedEx Ground. But it makes me wonder, because I did adjust the price on that item a couple times before it eventually did sell, if it would have sold at full ask if I'd have had the right shipping policy. So check your shipping policy and make sure that you have the right one in place, because that could be the one thing that's holding the item back from selling. So let me get through some of these sidebar convos. Thomas says, the last live, Jenna really brought back some memories when she mentioned Mad Dog 2020. They still make it and sell it here in New York. We'll send a case for Christmas. Was my first drink in 1991. And Night Train. Well, Thomas, I appreciate that sentiment. I'm sure that I don't know anything about Mad Dog 2020. I don't drink. I never have. I'm just a square, right? So I guess I'm just that guy. I've been the designated driver, and the problem is, I would normally say go ahead and send it, but Jenna doesn't drink either anymore. So she's been not drinking since what? It's been like 11 years now, and 10 years plus or something like that. So it's not something that would work for us. But if you want to send me some Dr. Pepper Zero, I'm all for that. But thank you for the sentiment. I appreciate that. Let's see. Jenna, are you going? Did you go? I'm
here now.
Oh, you went? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome. So Jenna did go to FedEx, and she's rushed back to hang out with us. Just wanted to, I don't know if you want to read the comment. The last live, Jenna really brought back some memories when she mentioned Mad Dog 2020. Oh. Still make it and sell it here. We'll send a case for Christmas.
Oh, no.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. Thank you for offering. However, I don't want to ruin my 11-year sobriety.
It's got to be better than Mad Dog for you to do that, right?
It's way better to be sober nowadays than...
See, she doesn't like this light.
No, I hate it.
Let's see. So we're just getting kind of started on the comments. I went on my diatribe.
I heard you.
Oh, you were in the car listening.
Uh-huh.
Okay, awesome. That's awesome. Let's see. So got a lot of cool sidebar. Thomas says, John, I have one more question and I'm done. And I hope I didn't actually skip any of your questions, Thomas. But I'm trying to be responsible with the comments so that I'm not reading what's not intended for me. John, I have one more question and I'm done. Promise, you can ask as many questions as you want. Were you able to ask about the third account shutdown question? I can ask my contact, but I keep forgetting. I didn't. If you're asking if I asked that at eBay Open, I didn't. I kind of regret not being hyper focused on shaking down as many eBay employees that were standing around on that sales floor. I call it a sales floor, but on that floor, the convention floor, because they're waiting, they're mingling, they're waiting, they're talking to one another, and it could have been a good opportunity for me to do more of the question asking than I did. But I'm going to blame not you, but there's a number of folks who did not send me questions. And I wish that would have happened because, look, there's questions that are maybe pertinent or important for you that may not really affect my business too much, and it would have been nice to get some answers. I'm still hopeful to know if the question I asked for Primo and Spam has helped them. I watched their live today, but I got interrupted a couple times. I've just been so busy, and I could tell that maybe it wasn't yet resolved.
Understatement.
Busy, but it's a good problem to have, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Now, I guess I asked this question a while back, but if you have 1,000 items in your store, right? And we don't have 1,000 items. I'm just putting that out there just to put it out there. Overnight, if you had the option of just selling every one of them, but you had to get it shipped out tomorrow, would you take that? That would be nuts. And I think that's why.
What?
Would you take that? All those sales.
Of course.
Provided that you can ship it out tomorrow.
All those packages that I just did.
We're talking 30 something, 34. We're talking 34
almost
items.
40 packages.
If I had 1,000, okay, let's just take what we really have. We have like 300 in the main, 280, and we have 430 in the secondary. And if we could price these all perfectly, and there's a market for each one of them, and eBay didn't get involved in any way with their algorithm to make sure that we weren't selling too many items, because I do think that's a thing, would you say, hey, let's sell it all?
I mean, but isn't that what we are doing?
We're not doing. I've never met anyone that sold all their items either. But it's a stupid question to ask because it's a stupid question to ask, but it kind of ties into a video I watched from another YouTuber that is like, we don't accumulate all of our stuff just to sit on it. We want to sell it all. But if you could sell it all overnight, you could ship it tomorrow, would you want that? Because I don't want that. I want a steady stream.
I would like it a little every day, not.
But there's people out there that think that resellers who buy things and sit on them for more than a few days and even weeks, it's the wrong way to do it.
No.
There's some people that think that.
Well,
and
there is no wrong way. There's
really
no
not.
way.
There's really not.
Everybody runs their business as they want.
There's really not.
And there is no wrong or right way. You do it your way, we do it our way, and we're all happy.
But I'm sure there's some people here that said, look, whatever it takes, if I can sell all this crap that I have tomorrow, I will be on it, right? But then what happens after that? You're back out of business.
You're back at square one with nothing to sell.
Not all that money, but I mean, money, you might feel like going on vacation, and then you won't have nothing to spend on product. When you get back.
There's no such thing as vacations in this life.
Well, you heard about that discussion I had on the car, didn't you? About why
the whole Tennessee.
Yeah. It's just the way it is. Look, it's something we signed up for. So, Derek W. Pat says, hello, all you awesome, beautiful people. Happy Monday. Nice to see you, Derek. Thomas is from Greenwich, Connecticut, I believe, right? Greenwich. So a lot of sidebar action. Oops, I shipped myself. Says, did anyone see Prison to Profit diss video? I was hoping no one would have brought this thing up. Yes, I did see it.
Who was he dissing?
I
know you mentioned it, but
I'd
rather not say.
I could tell you. I mean, what it looks like, maybe Cincinnati, maybe a little Kevin Commonwealth, little Josh. Not the Josh we know, but Harry Tornado, and I believe Rally Roots. So it's look, I've known about not all the specifics, because I have been in contact over the years with Dante, and I think I just kind of find it kind of funny, the topic of the video, where he feels slighted. He feels slighted by some of the large creators, and I don't know a lot about it. Huh?
Why?
It feels like a lot of promises were made to him. He feels somewhat used. You got to watch the video. but I
I
just
can
I just think it's funny because I was looking at it back on January 2nd of 2021, a year into my YouTube. I discovered his channel. I liked his vibe. I don't have no problems with Dante, by the way. I really don't know him. I mean, I tried to get to know the guy. I hit him up to try to collaborate, and I even talked to him on the phone, but he kind of shut it down there, and he just didn't want anything to do with me. So it's like I kind of find it funny because I felt kind of slighted from that interaction, but it's kind of how things kind of go. It's I mean, a year after that, he sent me well wishes for Merry Christmas on Instagram. I did the same, but I would love to have the guy on the show at some point. I think he's a genuine person, but I think that, and I kept thinking, if you watch the video, I think he had like 5,000 views in like just one day, so I think a lot of viewers watched it. Is he wrong though? That's my reaction. Is he wrong? And I'm not talking
Wrong about what?
I'm not talking about any specific people. So any of you specific people who were on that thumbnail, it's just big people that he met in the industry have let him down, made promises about helping him and doing things, with him, collaborating, that never materialized, and he's just upset about it, just now coming out about it. In retrospect,
did disappear for quite
he
a
did.
long
He
time.
did, and maybe it's just like he's trying to get back in the swing of things and explaining why he left. I don't know, but as far as
I'm not shedding any tears for the guy.
well, I look, I like I said, I tried to get to know Dante, and he didn't want anything to do with it. Here's this dude over here in Vegas, and I don't know who he is, and maybe with a bunch of other experiences, he just didn't want to do it, but. Any kind of collaboration or that, because I'm all for it. I'm all for collaboration, but I do agree with the idea that we do have people in this game. It's the elephant in the room that simply are in it for very, very selfish reasons, and if some of these people could exclusively do content and not resell, they would. That's not this guy. So that's kind of all I'll say there, because again, I don't know enough about it to really, about the specific things that he's talking about, or the specific people, to make any comments.
Sale.
You got a sale? Awesome. So we'll just leave that at that. And let you guys discuss that on the side if you guys want to. Talking about a lot of New England stuff here. We got Callie Debs is with us. Nice to see you, Callie Debs. Kevin Hawthorne, good evening. One of my favorite people, one of my favorite viewers. He's very, very consistent. I really think, though, Kevin, I think you have this comment on a notepad somewhere, and you just copy and paste it at this point.
It's not that hard to type. Good evening.
No, but it's easier. I would recommend, Kevin, if you don't have that comment on a notepad, might as well just save it now and then just paste it in there. But we do want to hear from you, because there's been a couple times he has piped in and said some pretty good stuff. Let's see. Thomas says, sorry for all the side chat, John. I'll shut up now.
No,
Look,
you guys are. That's what the
is,
chat is for. You guys are supposed to interact. That's what we want you to do. Interact with everyone.
You're helping me build my skill set so I can navigate through the sidebar conversation. But that might mean that I might do a little skip to my loo, and that's fine too.
Yeah. Andre Squaw.
Andre Squaw says, howdy, John, Jen, and FA chat family. Here's to next week. To a new week. Well, for some people, it's like, here's the next week. It's just started, but here's the next week, because I don't want to be involved with this week. Brenda Smith says, hello, everyone. Nice to see you, Brenda. Juan at Nose Attic says, hey, all. Nice to see you, Juan.
Hello.
Brando B. and Coppercat. Got little peddling profits. Good afternoon, folks. Ping G in the house with Record Crate. Good evening. I hope all is swell with you. All is swell. And Duncan VR says, eBay is you.
Raining out.
I love that.
Only a little, like sprinkles.
It's supposed to rain a lot tomorrow, so we'll get more rain tomorrow, which is absolutely awesome. I will keep the garage door open, because when it starts raining, I will run outside with my arms outstretched, and it's you just don't know. If you're in Vegas, you know. If you're not in Vegas, you probably don't know. Here's Duncan says eBay is using auto-generated message responses to message now. Good, but they changed the seller hub page. Bad. I hit the like and got a return. Well, but you're the one asking for that. You should get some cicadas as well. Ping G says, yes, I saw Dante Prisoner Prophet video this morning. I mean, I'm not against you guys talking about it, how you feel about it, but I can confirm that it is clicky in off camera. It is clicky amongst YouTubers. There is a lot of that feeling about, I just don't want to associate with that person. I'm not associating with you if you associate with that person. I can sort of tell you from my own experiences, there's people I really kind of avoid because of what I've seen off camera. And, I can verify things that I've seen from various people. And that's kind of all I want to say. There are some really, really, really good people, though. I don't want that to be lost in anything that's put out on YouTube. There are some really, really good people off camera that are the exact way that they are when the camera is off. So I'll just put it out like that. Oops says, hello, fellow Floridian Kevin. United by humidity, hurricanes, and the sacred art of dodging gators in parking lots.
Ah! No!
That sounds fun.
No!
The Crazy's Life
terrifying.
says, hi all. Nice to see you, The Crazy's Life.
Hello.
3D Precision Scanning is in Ocala, Florida. That's awesome. Andy Reno says, you guys are lucky. It's 50 here.
Oh, 50.
That's lucky.
I would love 50.
Yeah, and then Duncan says, Australia Post suspended shipping to America because of tariffs. Ooh. And I know that Josh Galt, I don't know if he's going to be hanging with us, if he's here or not, but he had mentioned on Primo's show that if you are a seller in the United States, you're going to be able to take advantage of fewer sellers selling into the United States because there's just no way to get the packages here. Thomas is 65 here. Summer's over. Where are you at, Thomas?
Dang.
Josh Galt says, this episode is brought to you by List Easier. Well, then, if it's brought to me by List Easier, I'm waiting for the check in the mail. Yeah. You got me on that one. So I'm going to have to have Mr. Dick or Richard. His real name is Dick, though. I'm going to have him contact you on your video, your next video. So it's a little inside joke with between me and Josh. Joseph Martin says, howdy, John, and all and other peeps here. Nice to see you, Joe. Record Crate says, where are you, Thomas S? I'm in Raleigh, and our humidity is low, but a comfortable high 80s. Where's that?
I didn't even take that.
We got Flip It with us. Nice to see you, Flip It.
Hello.
But I got to tell you, if it was 80 degrees here, I may have had to sneak out to go play golf. I may have had to do that. Royal. I remember Royal because I can never say Royal L, I'll say. Says, oh, what the hell? Nice to see you. You're a stranger right now. We haven't seen you in a minute. Oops, I shit myself, says Josh. Your program is solid, but for one-off sellers like me who list around 20 items, bulking isn't an option and just slows things down. Hopefully have something for all soon. I'll say this. As AI evolves, there will be other people throwing their hat in the ring, and you just have to see what that looks like. Now, coming off of eBay Open, after talking to eBay about their AI lister, I recorded a few things, snippets of what they had to say in one of the workshops, and I decided to go out and do my own experimentation with eBay's AI listing software. And that video is going to drop in the morning. It's going to tell you exactly what I realized about it and really what it is. It's not an AI listing program. I'll just basically tell you that right there. But it is something. If it's something that appeals to you, but I don't see a whole market for it, to be honest with you. I'll just continue doing my thing with my one-offs until I find that one program that's going to allow me to do what I want. And what I want is, I know that I'm buying 30 items online. It's already bought. I just got to go pick it up. don't have it in my possession, but I have their stock photos or a real quick passing of a photo of what I just bought. And I want to be able to put it up in this lister. Hell, I'll even paste the title in if that's what I'm needed to do, which I don't want to do, and make my listings for me. That doesn't exist right now. Because there's a lot of listers out there that don't have all the categories, and I sell in some, other than eBay Motors, I sell in a lot of one-off categories. I just listed a boat propeller for, it's like, come on, when's the last time we sold a boat propeller to anyone? Never. Gail says, hello John and FA family, again thank you for the super chat, appreciate that. Honor Squad says, funny how they didn't yell that loud and clearly at eBay Open, and that is why they don't have my trust yet that they will actually follow through with all the raw info you were given. It's going to either happen or not happen by October. So, if we're here in October 31st and we don't have the things that they told us we were going to have, then I will side with you on that for a lot of things. But what's kind of crappy about it is that they sneak these things in and there's really no reason for it. Now, look, they had enough positive stuff at eBay Open where they could say, look, we're doing these things, we're making these great changes, but with good changes for the seller, there's going to be changes. There's sellers that aren't going to feel like it's good for them, but we still have to tell you about it. I would respect that more than having it snuck in to eBay policy and have Ina Steiner have to uncover it and reveal it to the world that there's some changes going on. And again, the changes that we're talking about are hitting next Wednesday, the 3rd of September. So eBay is no longer going to remove negative or neutral feedback on returns. When you offer free returns, you handle a return and you issue a refund. You do all those things. Buyer left you a negative feedback, eBay's not going to remove that. Another scenario is if you get the return, the buyer sent you back their old Xbox instead of the one you sent them, they damaged it, they used it, they beat it up, you deduct 50% like you probably should, and the buyer is allowed to leave you a negative feedback regardless. That's not going to be removed either. That sucks. And I don't know. Someone had said on Beard's program that it could be due to laws that, like you can't go in and alter honest feedback on a transaction. I guess you're not allowed to take down or remove feedback on a business, like on Yelp or something, or Trustpilot. Maybe it's tied to that. I don't know. There's got to be a reason for it. I hope it's not because eBay removes a negative and enough buyers are pissed off about it and they call eBay and now they're just going to react instead of logically trying to figure out if it makes sense to make this change. They're just doing it to shut one side up. Samantha Hunter says, hi all. Hi John and Jenna. Nice to see you.
Hello.
And Devon's with us. Nice to see you, Devon.
Hello.
Of course, we have Jovial says, hey, FA fam. Happy secondhand wardrobe day.
Hello, Rhonda.
I'm not wearing that.
No. Not for me.
Thomas says, did this scammer guy leave you a bad feedback yet? No.
Keyword.
Yet. And is it going to happen? I think it's like 50-50 right now. And the reason why I think it's 50-50 is of the caveat that I gave him. That may or may not be true. I don't know. But I let him know that eBay is aware of this and they're keeping an eye on they're seeing this. They're following this to see how you handle this. So that is, to me, if I'm a buyer and I'm scamming somebody, I'm trying to be off of eBay's radar. I don't want this gravy train to go away. So therefore, I'm going to leave this seller alone. I'll move on to my next victim, right? The idea that he will shout to the world, never agree to return my item. He'll shout to the world how he wants his money back. Nasty. They always come off nasty. They always come off angry instead of saying, hello, you sent me this. What can we do? almost always now these scammers come off angry to catch you on the defensive because guess what, guys? And I'm not blaming this scammer. I'm not going to blame the scammer. I'm blaming us sellers for this behavior because you have sellers in my video who have said, refund him and block him. If I block him, he don't care. He's probably never going to buy from me again. But it worked. He got the part. He got his money back. And therefore, that enables somebody to do it again.
Continue to keep doing it to you.
Right.
And you. And you.
Right. And then so he does it again to the next person. I don't want to deal with this. I'm going to give him his money back. I don't want a negative feedback. I want to move on. And it's the people probably who don't respond anymore to his shakedown request to stop communicating, block this guy, that get the negative because, all right, I'm going to punish this person for not refunding me my money and I'll go on to the next person. So I would be interested, and this is where eBay really should come in after, I'm hopefully that I'm not the only person complaining to eBay about this guy. Take a look at what's gone down. This person gets nasty, loud, and then money gets sent back his way, moves on, does it again. If there's a pattern here, eBay really needs to take care of it. And of course, eBay may be watching. They might not have any idea what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to put my account in jeopardy because I have decided to share this buyer's information. And I know I used to do that before, but I'm not. I've seen what happens when these kind of things happen. Oh, and he's back.
Oh, jeez.
So it's like clockwork. Only 15 minutes ago, as a response to, I have reached out to eBay and they are going to wait to see how you handle this transaction, he replies back, perfect. What does that mean? Well, I don't see.
He's not very intelligent.
He said perfect, which means that I may not have to hear back from him again. So that to me is perfect. And I think sometimes you have to stand up to these buyers like a bully. Stand up to them, and if it means at the very worst this person is going to leave me a negative feedback, I will reply in kind. If I can leave those photos of the negative feedback that this person has left for sellers over the last few years that I showed you, I will do that to let anyone know who's considering their word against mine that this is a shakedown attempt and nothing more than that, and they can do business with me and don't consider this person's feedback. So I'm not worried about it a bit. What I am worried about is the fact that it's almost 4 o'clock and I am so far behind in the comments, it's not even funny.
Because you have been elaborating a little too long.
But I think a lot of people want that. I think they want to hear the elaboration instead of, and look, I'm going to continue to read comments. That's not going to change, but I really do want to mix in stuff other than, hey Joe, how you doing? Hey, just I want to give as much as I can to the content.
You're still continuing.
See, this was going smoothly until you showed up. Don't you have another package to take somewhere?
You know what? I'll take
Thomas
you and
S.
drop you off right at the airport.
Thomas, I'll take it. Where can I go? Can I go to Tennessee?
No.
Oh, see, she's still not letting me go to Tennessee. Thomas says, we'll have to watch the rest tomorrow. 3 a.m. comes fast. Good night.
Oh my gosh. Good night, Thomas.
Good night, Thomas. And I noticed something kind of cool. Maybe you've always been a member. You're a member. Thank you for being a member. I did not realize that you're a member. So thank you for being one. Glenda Bavona says, good evening, everybody.
Hello,
nice to see you, Glenda. Awesome. The curator of thrift. Nice to see you, buddy. If he had the repairs done before even contacting you, he's screwed. At this point, I am 90% convinced this guy is a huge scam, and that's just the way it is. Mick's Mercantile says, hey, John. Nice to see you, Mick. Andy Reno says, thank you, John. Just had myself a little block party. There you go. Flipping from the trailer says, good evening, everyone. Nice to see you flipping from the trailer.
Hello.
And then Pitko says, you can add photos on the reply, include screenshots of his feedback left for others, and I will. So that is going to happen. But I guess my reply to him was perfect, and I'll just leave it at that. Basket Noodle says, greetings, groupies.
Be nudes.
Nice to see you. Casey, New York says, hi, everyone. Nice to see you.
Hello.
And then we have Tess, cooks for you. Good evening, but Tess, you've never cooked for me. So you got to say cooks for somebody else, but not for you. Michelle R says, happy Monday, everyone. Nice to see you, Michelle.
Hello.
Let's see. And then Gail says, I figure I need some chips since Jenna is gone.
No,
Well,
I'm not gone yet.
She'll be gone.
I'm leaving. I fly out on Wednesday.
Wednesday morning.
Wednesday early afternoon.
Is it early afternoon?
Yeah.
Or am I just dropping you off in the morning at the airport? No? Well, no, you're going to do shipping before you leave, right? Is that a no, too? Am I striking out with you here?
You are, because I have to be at the airport 2 hours ahead of time.
You don't. Not 2 hours ahead of time.
At
if
least
you're taking
an hour.
yes, an hour. So, you get the shipping done, and then we'll
Time is my flight.
we'll shoot you over to the airport. And I will be picking up...
Oh, no. I do it.
I will be picking up merchandise. It's going to work out. I'm going to drop her off the airport, and I'm going to go and run to different places and pick up merchandise. So, kill two birds with one stone. Let's see. Sales, what's that? Says Devon. Yeah, sales a little slow, huh?
12:05.
12:05?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. Creative Thrift says the sales have been pretty good. So that's the thing that kills me is why, and maybe somebody has an answer to this, but what is the reason why we have summer slowdown for some and others are reporting, hey, it's just never better in the summer. Oops, I shipped myself says with the new rule of racking up a positive on every order, that one little negative is basically a drop in the ocean. If they don't take it away for all the positives, I'll be drowning in. And that's the good thing about this policy.
So poetic.
Well, the policy that is also changing on the 3rd, that we are going to get positive feedback for buyers when the item is delivered with on-time tracking. Now, notice it doesn't say you have to buy eBay labels on this one, so maybe you can use Pirate Ship. The buyer hasn't reported a problem, and the buyer hasn't already left feedback from the seller. So I'm wondering if this little one here, this little nugget in the middle, the buyer hasn't reported a problem. If the buyer files an item not received case, is that reporting a problem? I'm wondering if that would be counted against you, and the buyer hasn't already left feedback for the seller. It's not a problem if they're being impatient and the item just isn't there yet. My Saipan guy filed one. Speaking of that, after we're done with this, I've got to go in and look into that whole thing because, we're getting close. I might have to do a forced refund on that one. Basket Noodle says, my summer sales don't do well because I don't do much work at it during the summer. And a lot of people shut their business down in the summer, or don't list as much in the summer. Or if you're out here in Vegas and you rely on yard sales for your business, you're not getting a whole lot of merchandise in the summer. You're not bothering with going to 3 or 4 yard sales. You're going to go and do a lot more than that, and there's just really not a whole lot of opportunities for yard sellers out here in the summer. We got Thomas says, I lied, I was still listening. Really leaving now. Good night.
Good night,
thank you, Thomas.
Thank you.
That's awesome of you. Thank you for being here. We'll see you on the next one. The next one's going to be, well, since you're a member, for those who are members, we're going to do the members only after I get back from the airport. A couple hours after I get back. We're going to do it at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And we may just do a dive into a couple stores. I have looked at a couple that are interesting. We might do a few things, might try to do a few listings to show you, how to use the AI's listing
I don't even
program.
know what you could call it that.
It's not. Just watch the video I put out tomorrow in the morning. Hopefully it'll give you a better understanding of not only what I think it is, but what eBay showed us in their demonstration on how to use it. And then tell yourself, is this what I expect out of AI? And I hope that you say that you expect a little bit more than that out of AI. Susan Phelps says, I am a part-time seller and sell everything. I had 6 sales this weekend. For me, that is good. I will take it.
Awesome.
That is awesome. So how do we build on that, right? So the goal for everyone is whatever your number is. And by the way, go check out. I know this wasn't your comment, but I just happened to have it. Go check out the Curator of Thrift. There's the QR code. Scan that bad boy, and I believe that takes you to his YouTube channel. I believe it does, but that's his information there, and he's a cool dude. But Susan, how do we get you more sales? How do we get anyone who's, coming off of a great weekend to keep that momentum going? And it's much more than saying, well, whatever I did last week, I need to do more of it. Look at the type of items you're selling. Stop buying the items, and I get a lot of flack for this, but I'm a firm believer in this. Stop buying the things that are going to sit and accumulate. And if you have items that are sitting and accumulating, you know what those items are, move on from that. Don't buy those anymore. And I know it's tempting. You may have had success with that item in the past, but I think sometimes we need to be in tune with the current market. So I'm not going to lecture anyone right now. I just had to get that off my chest. Elizabeth Castro. We can't board one of our dogs because of age. I can only travel close for now. Yeah.
Yes.
We can go to California with the dogs.
Pain in the neck.
But one dog gets so upset and so shaky that he, likes to throw up in the car. So we have them in their crate, and we try to put down towels and stuff. I don't want that going on in my car. Honestly, I just don't. Basket is I vacation half the year, 3 to 4 days a week, and the rest of those days I pretty much rest from vacationing. Devon's going to Montana for Labor Day.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
VJ says, what's with the seller punitive feedback policy changes? The seller has done nothing wrong in these two scenarios to warrant this hostile policy reversal. And the only thing I can think of here is that maybe there's some outside thing making them do this. Like, you are not allowed to remove feedback. Maybe there's some kind of... I don't know.
There's got to be something more to it that we just don't know. Because it's very petty. I don't understand why, I don't know.
But again, this can't be a secret either. Why didn't they announce it at eBay Open? Did they just want us to leave with all fluff?
Yeah.
But I can't respect that. I mean, look, I still have the experience I had at eBay Open. I still am somewhat excited about the positive things that they're going to to change for sellers. But not sharing this with us at eBay Open, it feels kind of crummy. It's, I don't know.
It feels very purposeful that they didn't. And that seems a little shady to me.
It's kind of like getting a Christmas gift that was stolen. It's cool that I got it. Thanks. It's exactly what I wanted. But then you tell me a day later, by the way, I stole that. It's like, I'm like, okay. Maybe it's a bad analogy, right? But it's somewhat close to how one would feel. Loving every minute of it. She looks confused.
I am very confused.
Look, I challenge anyone to get in front of this camera and come up with analogies on the fly.
There's no need. You just keep going. You just go into the next thing. You don't need to continue.
Well, how about you read this comment then?
Hey guys, CW Trading here. Somehow got logged out of the account I was using, so now I am on this old one of mine. Sales were amazing this past weekend. Might be my best weekend ever. I am in Tennessee. Good. What is GSM?
Why don't you make something up? Basket Noodle says, come winter, I step back into doing something productive. So you hibernate. Mixed Mercantile says 4 items going into today for $56 total. There you go.
Nice.
UTC Towing says, hey guys, we ended up getting a pallet of Black Hawk parts that's going to support all of our charity outreach this year.
Oh, that is so awesome.
So what kind of parts? That sounds like a helicopter.
Black Hawk parts?
Yeah. No, I'm assuming it's not a helicopter, so I don't know what a Black Hawk is. But maybe you can elaborate.
Maybe it is.
JK says, you say you're doing better now, but hour for hour of work, are you doing better, or are you working a lot more hours reselling than you were working a typical 9 to 6? Well, JK, my job, I worked 7:30 to 3 p.m. is when I went into work. But I'd get up at like 5. I'd have to commute. I wouldn't get home until maybe about 5 o'clock. And then once I got home, because I ran my own department, I still had to field phone calls, read my emails, and do things off the clock. So my job was, because I ran my own department, when you're in management, there's never really time off. You are going to be dealing with things even on vacation sometimes. So it's kind of like this, a lot like the same mentality. Like right now, I can tell you I am done with the main account. I've been done for hours. I have a process in place where I get my 1,000-ish, some days less, some days more. $1,000 is kind of the standard goal of items, the amount of items in dollar value that I want to list. Today that consisted of 9 items, and I'm met my goal. Now, will I go out there and work on it some more? Sure. Will I work on my secondary account? Sometimes. Will I work on fantasy football? More than likely. So
every night.
That's not every night.
Bullshit.
Every night when?
It is.
It hasn't
every
even begun
night.
yet. It hasn't even begun yet.
Yeah, but exactly. And you've been working on it every night for how many nights now?
Hey.
And you will continue throughout the season.
Basket Noodle says, interestingly,
you're skipping ahead.
Well,
Just
that's my point. Is
shut me up.
I'm starting a bowling league on Thursday.
Oh my God! And then fantasy football. When are you gonna find time for eBay?
I know. What are we gonna do? Is this why my sales go down in the fall and the winter? I don't think so.
You said it, not me.
No, I'm still going to be able to get all this stuff. My problem has been sourcing, and that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Baskin Noodle says, interestingly, as an aside, I saw a news segment over the weekend about AI server warehouses popping up everywhere and lacks of HVAC, electricians, and more. An HVAC guy doing nothing but clearing 150 a year. Yeah, it's just going to be a lot of infrastructure work that's going to be going on with the advent of AI. Hey, look, we got James Juice, the PA Picker.
Hey!
Say, what's going on? How's business been? I'm still waiting on my account to be fixed. Really?
Oh my gosh.
Were you in touch with that person I gave you? Because it shouldn't take more than an hour for someone to look at your account. I don't know why they're slow rolling you guys. But hey, thanks for being here, James. Nice to see you again. Susan says, just got to return because the item did not fit. The item does not fit, you must acquit. Basket Noodle says the work is constantly needed. Electricians, HVAC, plumbers mainly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I believe that is the case. Keith says, I charge the standard rate shipping, same for all items, which is £3.96. I think that's how they say it there. Regardless of an item sent, but I win some and lose some depending on item, basically meeting the buyer halfway on some terms or on some items. I'll meet the buyer halfway between their offer and my asking price sometimes. That's for sure. By Losel Chai says, what are the benefits of having multiple eBay accounts? Sounds like an accounting nightmare personally. No, not really, because see, I get the same 1099K, right? I know what my costs are, so maybe I'll make $180,000 between both accounts, and then I take my bulk costs, and I'll have to figure out. I made 6 trips to a yard sale. The money that I pulled out reimburses I have a bankroll, right, that I have for my play money. I reimburse that based on what I spent at the yard sale. So I'll take that into account as my cost in my little notebook. And then most of my other transactions are purchases online, so I can track that. I'm not drilling down to the per item. I don't do accrual. I do cash method, which is, I bought $40,000 worth of merchandise this year, let's say, right? I don't know if that's the case. It's just a number I threw out there. And that's what I report. I'm not reporting line by line for every little item that
What are the benefits of having multiple eBay accounts?
Okay, now the benefits to me are for your conversion rates. So if I had no interest in selling parts, say I go buy these liquidation pallets, the immediate goal is to sell that whole unit for $100, let's say, but I get it and it's a return and there's something wrong with it, then there's really no value in that unit other than maybe a parts or repair for $20. But if I realize that most of those parts on that unit I can maybe make $150 on collectively, but I'm going to sell them at $10, $15, $20 per part, then I want to be able to list those items, but I don't want to hurt the conversion rate that I've built up on my main store. And I'm a big believer in the momentum that we're getting in the main store is because of improving on our ASP, removing the low-end, low-ticket items, waiting, because I have a lot of items in that second store that's waiting for the unicorn buyer, that one person who needs that one random part that they just found it on eBay, but maybe I won't see another unicorn looking for that item for another year. I'm comfortable with that on my second account. I'm comfortable with that being a clearance store and having everything on it that I don't want on my main store. And that for me is the reason why I do it. I want to, and it wasn't until we actually did that, because we had it all compiled into the same store. It wasn't until we actually did that where we really took off in sales and making money. And speaking of that, I haven't done this in a while, but I guess I can kind of show you guys how we're doing.
We did it last time.
I don't think we did it last time, but we try to do it every time. Now, look, this ain't, I do have some messages I have to read. We have a sale that we need to ship, but we're going to build on that. Have some return requests because packages were delivered today from USPS. But the focus is over here. We are up 31.7% in, yeah, 31.7%. That's the last 31 days. It's a far cry from a couple weeks ago. We were at 70%, but we're still up. 18,979 last 31 days, and for the last 90, we're at 44,000 in sales. Now, it ain't Juice the PA Picker numbers. I promise you that, because he's killing it. And that's why you don't want to compare yourself to others. What I'm doing, you might want to see yourself doing, but it's going to be a process to build yourself there. Here's what we are year over year, or actually year to date as compared to last year. We are up 5% over last year from January 1 through August 25th. Don't really pay attention to this net. Hopefully we can get that fixed when eBay allows us to put our actual buy cost in the listing. We are down, this used to be in double figures, guys. We are down 2.6% in the number of items we've sold. So we're actually catching up. So my goal for this year is to stay above water, above last year, and be in the positive as it compares to last year's number of sold. We are up 7.8% with the average ASP per item at $77. And that number is going to keep, that percentage is going to keep shrinking because we were selling fewer and fewer big ticket items in this account in Q4. So that's kind of where we're at, just to give you an idea. Look, and the reason why we do that is not a brag. Maybe it'll give some people some hope that sales are out there. But really, we show these numbers so that you know that we spend our energy, we focus our energy on eBay first, reselling first, before we, try to make money on YouTube. I think that's a big concern that, say, in Dante's video today that he had, that there's a number of people out there who will make you believe that they are eBay first when they are YouTube first, and their ultimate goal is to ditch reselling and yet put a reselling face on their channel. That is not this channel, I can promise you that. Baskin Noodle says, unless hordes of people fill the jobs, the money they make is going to skyrocket. So, I mean, if you're looking for...
My sister's
that's right, he is.
boyfriend works in commercial HVAC. That guy brings in some money. It's crazy.
Yeah. He's doing pretty well with that.
Yeah.
And you're right. I think if you're looking for a craft to get into, and maybe it's like, look, reselling ain't for me. I'm just doing it because I have to do it. Maybe that's a direction you can go into. Maybe a field you can go into. Learn a craft and make a good chunk of money. Keith says you can have multiple accounts, but they have to have different email and different bank settings. Yeah, we have that set up. But No, I guess you're right. Because I have different bank accounts set for each one. The Gargoyles Den Diecast didn't realize you were on.
Well, hello.
We try to be always on Mondays and Fridays, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. So if you don't catch us live, there's always the replay crew. Shout out to the replay crew out there who are watching. And we get a number of folks that just can't make this time slot, but they make it a point to comment and hang out with us there on their own time, which is cool. Oh
my gosh, can you imagine?
But I used to ship 120 to 160 daily, 6 days a week.
Many
moons
though?
back.
What were you shipping?
Because see, she ain't just shipping like.
I'm not shipping postcards.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, there is a full workout that goes on in that room. I know you guys want to see it, but never will it be on a Sunday night, Monday night.
Yeah, we got to make that video.
Never.
Gargoyles Den Diecast. I wonder if this has to do with what I brought up in your chat a few days ago.
If what?
I
wonder if
don't
this
know.
has to do with what?
Maybe the changes that eBay made.
Oh.
Buy Low Sell Chai says, I did the math and it would take James Helfer's Day and the auction professor almost 2 years to ship out everything they've listed on eBay if it was sold today. LOL
God.
facts. And what do you think that would do to their metrics? eBay would shut them down. I think they'd put a hold on their funds too. So it's like, okay, well then put it back and let me sell at my pace. Ping G says, you have a separate selling account for those items so as not to bring down your metrics as a top rated seller. Well, both accounts are top rated. I want to continue. If I get a couple sales here and there on the second account, that doesn't bother me. If I go a day without making a sale on the second account, no big deal. I want my main store, I want that momentum to keep going. I want it to be consistent every day. And for the most part, over the last month, it's been really, really consistent for us. Jane's Jungle Safari says, hi, first time viewer. Sales are a tiny bit better.
Well, good.
Well, thanks for being here, Jane.
Yeah,
and thank you for being a member.
welcome.
She's a member too.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Boy, you just came full throttle. We
Yeah.
love it.
Jane,
Thank you.
do yourself a favor and hang with us on Wednesday at the same time. We're going to have a members only live stream where we kind of dive in. And if you want to, we are taking volunteers to review your store to say, hey, I would do this differently, may want to do this differently with whatever you're selling. We get a lot of good advice that people have on that.
No.
Oops, I shipped myself. Says it would take me 19 hours to ship all my items.
Dude, it would take me a long
It would take her
time.
I mean, we got some big
today alone was just I even woke up early because I knew it was going to be a storm a brewing in there. So I was like, I'm going to get up earlier, knock it out. I still didn't make it in time.
Yeah. Basket Noodle, that's why the delisted supply chain is always a nice place to buy from, as supply is literally endless and the margins are always nice. Yeah. Joshua Hill is with us. Nice to see you. I believe he's saying maybe he's from Connecticut. I don't know.
Connecticut.
JK, does anyone else not want to sell things after they purchase it because they just love it too much? Does this mean I'm a hoarder and not cut out for the reseller line? See, that there's a fine line between absolutely loving what you sell and selling it. I mean, because you love what you sell, you might be tempted to keep it. So it's that old adage, what is it? Eazy-E said, don't get high off your own supply, right? Mm-hmm. So you buy all this stuff, you're like, wow, I bought this to resell, but I like it so much I want to keep it. You're hurting your business that way, I think. You got to take off. So this is why I mean, selling in a niche is great. I don't know if I would want to sell in a niche with something I absolutely love. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be difficult for me because we all know I would be like, oh, one
Yeah.
for you, one for me.
That's why she can't sell health and beauty.
Yeah.
Because we would be like, oh, look, we got health and beauty. Okay, I guess I'm going to take out what I'm going to keep from it, because that's used to happen whenever we get a pallet and it's like, ooh, I could use one of these. Well, I could use it too. I want to list it on eBay. But you gotta, maybe it's perfect. Maybe you get the best of both worlds. Maybe I'm buying the things that I love, and I'm going to keep the things that I really love for myself, and the things that I could do without, I'll sell. Maybe that's the best of both worlds. And if it's a secondary job, maybe you started off buying these things on eBay because you love them, and you bought too many and you just were reselling them now, and it's become your niche. Then keep doing that. But if you need to pay the bills with eBay, then you might want to reconsider what you're doing, because that should be the priority. At least in my mind, this is why I don't have to go to a 9-to-5. Henri Scott says, there is no way I could mail 3,500 records in one day unless it was going to one buyer. Also, I would struggle to get all my other items out one day as well.
3,500 records. That would.
Remember when we did those? The way we used to ship records, the way we did it was, because we didn't have the mailers, we actually took 2 pieces of cardboard that were cut out larger than the LP and the case, and then we'd bubble it and put it in a poly mailer and mail it that way. Maybe that's a little too much, but that's what we did. Can you imagine doing that?
Hey, we never had one complaint.
Check out the Discord, as Keith kindly put out here. It's in the chat if you want to go to the link there, or if you're watching after the fact, it's down below. But we always seem to have people that are there, that are logged in, and you just post something and someone will come back and give you an answer if you have a question, or maybe you have an answer to someone's question. Go check it out. It's a good little community that we have, and we touch on all kinds of different topics you can go in and talk about. And of course, you're watching this so far. Thank you for hanging with us. Do me a favor, hit the like button. We offer you positive karma to get that sale within the next 24 hours. I don't know how it works, but it just does. How many likes we have so far?
88.
88 likes? Only
Yep.
88 of you want that sale within the next 24 hours, because we have right now, I think we got about 155 people watching. So I know there's more of you that want that sale. So hit the like button to get your sale. We don't charge nothing to watch this show, really. I mean, we do have that membership thing if you want that. It's an optional thing, but it's only $2.99 to keep the uninterested people out. Hilton Page is a member. Says, hi, FAE fam. Nice to see you,
Hello.
Hilton Page. Spam is a member. Says, aloha family. Been stuffing our faces with meat and potatoes.
Meat and potatoes.
We don't even figured out what's for dinner tonight.
Dude, I have a list of things I need to get done.
Yeah, this might be an Uber night. Christina says, happy Monday, everyone. Hit the like button to get the sale.
That's
yes.
right.
Curator Thrift says, hey, after meeting you and Josh, I have to say you two are great to chat with. Go check out the Curator Thrift. I want to use that link. And don't be a stranger. You know, we'd love to see you on all the shows in the chat. UTC Towing says, hey, today we couldn't block someone messaging anyone else have that issue. So if you go to help and contact and put in block buyer, there should be a button you can click to add the person. If you've added them already and you're still getting the messages, wow, that would suck.
That's weird. Maybe log out and log back in? I don't know.
Samantha Hunter says, Jenna, I just want to say enjoy your trip. Have a safe journey and see you next meet time.
Well,
Smile.
thank you so much. Yes, I leave on Wednesday. I'm not coming back until the 6th of September.
This camera's going crazy.
And I'm going to go see my nephew play. He's on varsity football, so I get to go do that on Wednesday when I arrive. We're going to beeline it
They play
to
on
the
Wednesday?
high school.
I think they usually play on Fridays.
Well,
don't they?
for some reason, I think it has to do with the back to school day or something. I'm not quite sure. But he is on Wednesday, and then my niece is on the volleyball team at a different school. And so we're going to be doing that as well. So, and then we're going to have a pool party this weekend at my sister's house. So I'm super excited because all my family will be there.
Lone Wolf Reseller says, U.S. Customs Department are suspending a lot of goods. Expect higher prices. The Green Man engineered this to get PAL is lower interest rates. We'll see. We'll see how it works. We will see how it works. I heard that there's talk about sending out tariff checks, like a check to every taxpayer, if there's excess money from these tariffs. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. Basketo says John will be running up and down the street in Vegas with a coffee cup high overhead to get the water. Yes, I will. You know, it just, I will stand in this pouring rain because it's been so hot, but
it's very dark outside.
I love it. I love it.
It looks like it could just downpour at any moment, but there's no moisture coming down.
Yeah. Kelly says, by all means, buy 1,000 items from my store. For that much sales, I will stay up all night packing. But could you make it work? Yeah, Dante, Prisoner Prophet is back. He has his channel. He actually has made some content. But, you know, I got a phone call from somebody, a friend, a reseller friend, that says, have you heard the news? No, I haven't heard the news. There's a lot of drama going on right now. All right, tell me what the drama is. And so, of course, the curiosity, you know, got me, and I watched the video. I mean, look, I think sometimes people have the right to feel the way they do, especially when there are people out there who paint a picture of themselves as being one way, and then when you meet them, it's totally different. It sucks. It's a disappointment. Samantha says, my little kitten brought in a cicada. Oh, my freaking goodness. These things are the size of a tangerine.
Yes.
Shoot. I had to move
Fast.
Hopefully you'd have to move and fart to get it out. All that
Fast.
ticking. Well, it looks like it could be either one. Got the broom and sweep.
Yeah, they are no joke. They are big, and I am actually surprised we haven't gotten. Usually at the end of every summer, we normally get a infestation of them all through Las Vegas. They come from Utah. Apparently, they hatch up there and they fly down here.
Lone Wolf says eBay suggests the category from the title when manually listing. Don't really need AI to do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just it's this in-house AI that eBay insists on having. Look, I get it. It's going to be more expensive, and they pass the cost on to us if they use like a Chat GPT service to fetch their AI data. But at the same time, it's just too. It's sort of like some of these other AI listing programs that'll be unnamed that, you know, put out like, hey, we're gonna have this software. It's gonna work great, and then it doesn't really work as expected. It's disappointing when that happens. So, yeah, I wish eBay would not have even put that out, to be honest with you. If you have to put in a title for it to actually populate your item specifics, then it's broken as far as I'm concerned. Let's see.
Lone Wolf's reseller says eBay UK is
yes.
open coming.
Is that going to be an event, or is that going to be like a virtual event? So
Theirs
can you
is
buy?
free.
You can actually get tickets. So it can't be. So it could be free, but they still have you go on and register for the event, right? Oops, I shipped myself. Says I don't know if we can talk about here or on Beard's channel, but what's up with that Atlas Comet?
Atlas Comet.
Well, yeah, it's probably best for Beard's channel.
What is
but
it?
I mean, even Beard's not here. He's still asleep in his recliner.
No,
so I
he
mean,
just
it doesn't.
finally showed his thumbprint.
Oh,
right here.
okay. So when you made this comment, he was still sleeping in his recliner.
Yeah. You
From
must have woke him
what
up.
I understand, this comet is not behaving the same way a comet would behave, and it's making people wonder if this is even a comet after all. So let the conspiracy theorists go, like an alien ship.
Alien ship.
Yeah, because the thrusters or the plume or whatever the hell the comet would have should be going a certain direction, and it's not going that way, so it makes people think like, what the hell is going on? This isn't a comet at all. But this isn't a NASA channel. I don't know more than that, so it's not appropriate for me to give you more information than that. Pico says, I feel that eBay are now trying to do things sellers been asking for, like they got kicked up a bit in the backside, but if they follow through, maybe that's good. No, it'll be great. If eBay follows through with every promise they made at eBay Open. Awesome. But stop pulling this crap of, well, we're going to give you the good news at eBay Open, but we're going to sneak the bad news in, like the bad news that I gave you at the beginning of the show, where they're not going to be removing negatives for, simply refunding the buyer like they have been. Gargoyle says, basically more of the same, toss sellers under the bus that I've been experiencing this week. LMAO. I don't know. There's no fluff that eBay can give a seller to make us feel any better about these changes either. Yeah. Beard King Picker Alex, hello people of the internet. Nice to see you. Got
Hello.
Todd's with us. Nice to see you, Todd.
Todd.
There's a lot of people. We got quite a few. We had a drop off for a minute. We had a drop off from like 150 to 96. That was weird. Like 150 to 96. And it all kind of started when you started talking. I don't know. I'm just putting out the data and the facts.
Excuse you?
Oh, the drop-off's not there. That was weird. It showed that there was a drop-off in viewership. And I thought it may be tied into when you started talking. Sherman Volkman says, Monday Night Fever. Yes. Honor Squad, definitely use record mailers. We just were too cheap for that.
If that ever happened again, we would certainly use those. Because let me tell you, cutting up boxes every single day, it wasn't it.
And even though this comment wasn't for me, the Vegito and Gogeta show, I probably butchered the living crap out of that. I apologize. Sales are definitely down. We do motorcycle parts. I mean, we sell some motorcycle parts, but you'd think this time of year people are out on little road trips, right? The weather's great. I don't know why that would kind of die down.
Yeah.
Thrift Gorilla says you have to wait until the listing is deleted from the site for them to stop being able to message you. Really? Even though you block them?
You have to wait until the listing is deleted from the site?
Oh, and you know what I did? I didn't mean to skip to my loo, but look how much I skipped to the loo. I didn't mean to skip to my loo. It pulled me down.
You skipped to my loo.
A lot. Chanting sound. Jenna ship, Jenna ship, Jenna ship.
I know you guys want the video, but
yeah,
it
needs to happen.
I get it, but I don't have time before my trip. I just don't.
So no ship before you
no
trip?
ship before my trip.
Well, that sucks.
Sorry. I'll make it up to you when I get back.
And then Devon's talking about the Puerto Rican buyer. John, this guy has a bad track record. eBay should see that. But are they looking? If they're leaving it up to their AI to do anything about this guy, I'm not going to hold my breath. Samantha says, so eBay put us resellers on blast. We have to be stellar at all times until there is truly an issue, because that's the buyer's vengeance on resellers. Damn. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. And here's the Vegito and Gogeta show saying hello. I don't know why it got knocked down to the bottom, but it's probably YouTube saying, dude, you are way behind. And Chassin says, just joined the stream, saw the title, sold almost 1 million on eBay. What's this change? And again, it's eBay not backing the seller. When you get a negative feedback or a neutral feedback, currently, right now, between now and the 2nd of September, eBay will remove that feedback if you refund a buyer due to having free returns. Or if you refund a buyer partially because they sent you back a wrecked or different unit, they will remove the negative or neutral. Now, starting the 3rd of September, it ain't happening no more. Now, that's not to say you can't ask to have that removed, but it's going to be a harder battle because you don't have policy backing you up. Michelle Kirkpatrick's with us. Nice to see you, Michelle. Thrift Gorilla made the live. The Vegito and Gogeta show. I used eBay International
Pamela.
Shipping as shipping provider for an international order. Buyer purchased an item twice. First transaction was canceled. Second transaction was completed successfully. It's awesome. And then Devon's going to be in Montana. Melatonin Candy. Been moving a 10 by 30 storage unit. My back sore now.
Oh, yeah.
Are you moving it to your garage, your house? What's going on with that? Let's see. I'm really not trying to skip skip like I'm accused of, but we have Big Dre says partial refund. They just weren't fully satisfied, and I really can't argue for the fix the problem, which was that they felt the item was dirty, but I did clean it the best I could, and it was as photographed.
Yeah.
And people don't read all the time either,
Sometimes
right?
you can't please everyone. I mean, you could clean the living daylights out of something, and it's not good enough for some
We
people.
got Nick Picker says,
Picker!
"Hey John and Jenna, been a while since I've been able to catch your show live. Yes.
Well, hello. It's so nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you. Don't be a stranger, darn it." And Gail's disappointed. Gail got knocked out of the number one spot.
No, Gail.
Classic Faye says, "Have a safe and fun trip, Jenna. I enjoyed the live.
Thank
Cheers."
you. I will.
Uh-oh. Susan hit the like and got a return as well.
Aw, no.
That's no good. Another buyer complained that one item was missing, so I shipped another beauty product free of charge. They seemed happy with that and said they would buy more.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes just a little thing like that to get someone to... Okay, I was going to talk about this. We got a little time. We got we're not in a rush. I don't care what time we end this thing. Well, you can go to the store if you want. But I'm going to order some Uber Eats probably. But anyway, anybody out there who went to eBay Open, spend their $300. See, because me, it was burning a hole in my pocket.
Yeah, it was.
Because it's like, I don't want to forget that I have it. And I had something on my radar. I bought a set of hex-clad pans, because, I like to cook. And we made tacos the other day with our not cast iron, but it's the stainless steel pans. And, hot oil.
Horrible experience. Every time we make tacos, it turns into shredded tortilla chips.
Shouldn't stick.
Should never
with
stick.
With oil, it shouldn't stick. So it's like, all right, I'm biting the bullet. I'm buying these pans. Now, we bought the pans and was very, very pleased with my interaction. There's a seller that has a lot of transactions, sells a lot of liquidation like I do. And I don't know if they watch this channel or not. The person's actual name is Ruby, I believe. But as soon as I placed the order, it was at 12:30 in the morning. I got an email saying, "Thank you for your order. We're going to send this out. If there's any problem." I'm like, damn, that's coming out of my book. And they shipped it out this morning. And I got an email. That's something we don't do yet. "We shipped your item out. Here's a tracking number. Let me know if there's any problems." It's like, this is awesome. Mm-hmm. And this person sells a lot of stuff. This is the way. If Mandalorian would have popped up at that moment, they would have said, this is the way to do eBay. I don't care what you sell. And some people will say and have said, "Oh, you can't harass the buyer like that." No buyer that's reasonable is going to think you're harassing them by giving them an update on their order, something they're probably wondering about. Mm-hmm. So if there's anything that I can say from me buying, and I don't know how it really relates other than this seller surprised me with this purchase, it's certainly a good look, and I will be sharing that on Wednesday's live, the verbiage and how that went down. In it to flip it, Katie and Vicky did their live yesterday. Vicky was saying that eBay told her they now consider listings over 60 days to be stale and they're dropped in search results. That's very interesting. See, this is where you have eBay talking in both sides of their mouth. There's people that are saying, don't use end item sell similar because eBay said not to. And I was there at the workshop where eBay said, well, if you use it too much, you're never really going to be indexed on Google Shopping. Well, if you look at your numbers, how many of your sales actually come from external anyway? You will get some external sales from Google Shopping, but what's better? Playing to your eBay audience by keeping fresh listings, or playing to your unicorn Google audience who may buy your item randomly? The way I do it is this, and it's not a daily recycle of your items like a daily nuclear reset. It's before eBay recycles it and takes their listing, because they're going to take their listing every 30 days no matter what you do on that item. Before that 30 days is up on that item, I'm end item, and then I will relist it. I went from sell similar to relist only because I don't have to worry about deleting that item when I'm done from the ended item. So it does it for you. But it's end item, relist, making changes to the listing that pertain to it. Keep track of how many months I've had it. Every time I put an asterisk in the listing is another month I'm sitting on this thing. But here's the difference. If you are allowing that item to just sit in your store month after month without a process, the algorithm is going to assign some level of it being stale to your item, to your listing. Does that mean it won't sell? No, it'll sell. If that buyer's looking for it, they'll find it. But I would rather have every 30 days have that item with a new listing tag next to my title and being treated by the algorithm as a new listing. And that is what works for us. So I don't doubt that's the case, that they were told that. But what I do doubt is that eBay was not able to answer at this workshop a very, very basic question about how eBay works. And that concerned me. Simply, they were asked the question, what happens, or how do you know what item specifics to use over others? If, I don't want to fill out all the item specifics, how do I know which ones I need to focus on versus ones that I just should not even waste my time with? And they're like, that's a good question. I don't have the answer to that. I'll have to get back to you. And I'm looking around going, what are you talking about? So I will show you. If you look on this example, what do you notice about these item specifics? Now, they're not all filled in, okay, but you notice something next to type. 72.1 thousand times, 72,000 times, I believe this is probably the last 90 days, a buyer filtered their search with type, okay? 15,000 times, a buyer searching for this category, an item in this category, filtered by material. 12,000 times, a buyer filtered their search by finish. But color wasn't all that popular. Number of faucet holes for this. This is a grab bar for a bathroom. Okay. Now trending. I guess I could put round. I'm not going to do that till I do some more. Trending is also pretty popular. Number of shower heads. There's no shower heads. It's not a shower. Features. Maybe I should put some features. I got to learn more about it before I say it's corrosion resistant, right? So I need to do a little bit more work on this to improve my item specifics. But what item specifics am I going to focus on? I'm going to focus on adding more features. I'm going to focus on, even if I have to add my own in there, I'm going to focus on number of shower heads. I'm going to put 0, but, whatever. I'm going to focus on the shape of this thing versus the width, the height, the installation, the faucet hole spacing. You guys get my point. They couldn't answer that question. Well, it's right there on how to determine which item specifics are more important on an item. Then and Now Collectibles says, had a good week of sales, but shut down shipping to the U.S. on Saturday from Canada. Wait till the dust settles. Going to sell on Facebook for now. It's easy to list, and I already have pictures. Mm-hmm. A cross list. Get your cross listing in. We do have a link to TreeCat down below in the video description. Go and click on that, get started. They have all kinds of features that they're adding to their software. They've invested a lot of time, money, and effort into building this thing, and I'm very excited about the new features that they're going to be adding to this thing for everyone. So keep an eye on TreeCat and just go check them out if you want to expand getting your items in front of more buyers out there. Thrift Gorilla says, my sales have been quite slow as well as of late. Interesting. It may be tied to your category, I wonder, because sales are great for us, but we sell a wide variety of things, so it's hard to pinpoint why we're doing well. We're even selling good auto parts lately. SCG Collectibles, that's all eBay Open was. It was a fluff show. Mm-hmm. I hate to come back in a month or two and say, guys, I was wrong. I don't want to be wrong. I want to think that there's no more surprises. Other than these 2 surprises that we were given today, let's hope that there are no more surprises, that eBay is just going to kind of slowly filter in. But, their track record says that's probably going to happen, unfortunately. Baskin says, yes, everyone, eBay wanted everyone at eBay Open to leave happy and after eating the artificially flavored sand nutrient. Samantha says, some of us, I'm one who just can't travel with their pets. They're not that kind of breed or personality. Yeah. Creator Thrift says, as far as negative feedback, they have only looked for trash or offensive verbiage when removing what I've asked to be taken down. Yeah, it's not an easy process to get negative feedback taken down, and this is just going to make it harder to get it removed. The Vigito and Gogita Show says, have never seen this type of don't care and I don't care attitudes is simply discouraging, isn't it? I mean, it's one way to bring you down from an eBay open high is to just like tell us that, oh, by the way, we're taking this back or we're changing this. It's going to kind of make you feel a little bit worse about the platform. But I'm going to wait and see. We're going to wait and see what happens here. Samantha says, I want to take a trip back to New York, but I have several feral domesticated cats and kittens. They depend on me solely for everything. Trying to make money to get them all fixed. eBay, I need sales now. It's like J.G. Wentworth.
Yeah.
Need cash now. Trying to get to Todd's with us. Says, Devon, you are 484th on the inheritance list in my will for sure. You will get a bunch of my death pile, but you have to pick it up yourself. It's going to consist of toothbrush holders, I'm sure. Honor Squad says, if you want to go into HVAC, plumbing, or the trades, Micro Works Foundation has scholarships available. Look into that.
Oh.
You know, I think sometimes, and there's probably a few here that are watching, you know, we want you here, we want you selling because we want you to be a part of this community, but maybe you don't really want to do reselling and it's just kind of something that you feel like you got to do. Maybe something like that, look into a trade and just do reselling on the side if you're not bringing in all the money by the time you get into that trade. Jovial says, fun fact, a group of male turkeys are called a posse or gang or mob. So all these badass gangs out there are truly just a bunch of jive turkeys. There you go. Yes. Basco says, nice ASP, John. Yeah, selling costs are brutal. They are brutal, but I mean, I'm getting great prices on some of these things that I'm selling. So John is selling the right things. I'd like to think that I am. Can I do better? Yes, I can. Like, for instance, auto parts. I've been buying a lot of AC compressors, but I'm looking at it going, okay, kind of cut that off now. I still have some up for sale, but I don't know if I want to be adding more of those to my store because it's the weather's going to start cooling down for people, right? Mike G says, I have the same bank account for both of my stores. Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily a requirement for the bank account side. Maybe the email, but not the bank account side. UTC Towing had those parts were for that helicopter. Blackhawk, yeah. Blackhawk down.
That's awesome.
And you found some parts. We got some people are saying vote now. Vote 1 now to see Jenna's shipping video. Uh-oh. We don't have any votes coming in. Kelly says, we've been asking for a shipping video for quite some time. Yes. It doesn't have to align with everything else they post. Darn it, they're getting frustrated at you, Jenna.
No, I get it. It's just, my job is not just shipping. I have a lot of other responsibilities too.
UTC for Towing is sold as for parts since I just don't have a spare helicopter sitting around. Sold one piece for $2,500 and another part for $3,000. Thanks to you, John, for learning from you to sell parts from freight. Well, yeah, awesome.
That's awesome.
Glad I can help with that.
Very good. Yes.
Now, Kelly says if you sell high sell-through rate items, it doesn't require a lot of packaging, then you can easily do 100 plus a day. Just have to find something that works. I think a lot of what liquidation, though, see, people treat the packaging and liquidation like a stepchild. They treat it bad.
The reason it's been taking me so much longer is because a lot of these boxes are just beat to hell and back, and so I have to I have to improvise with what I have. I create boxes, and it's a whole thing.
We got Biff says checking in late, but you're here. That's all that matters. Thanks for being here. Be on time for Wednesday's show. Susan Phelps says, don't buy what you like all the time. Buy what people want to buy. Yes.
That's right.
When you're buying like an everything seller, it shouldn't matter if you like it or not. You should like if it's sold or not. That's the thing.
I like the money that it will make.
Biff says, I always keep some of the best stuff in my niche. One day I will sell it.
Is Mike still watching? He is.
Which Mike? Mike Camparelli? Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I received my owls. They're so cute.
Honor Skull says, I outdid myself sourcing last week. It's going to take me a long time to get this all listed. There it is. Now get it listed. In it to flip it says, regarding JK's comment about loving and keeping what you buy to sell, I list it with a crazy high price and enjoy it while it's listed. If it sells at the high price, then I'm okay letting it go. So it's like, it's mine until I get someone that likes it more than me, right? Because, I think it's the old adage is everything has its price.
Yeah.
So how many of you out there sell a niche that you love and you will not, for any amount of money, list that item? But if someone came across and said, I'll give you 5 to 10 times what it's worth because I really have to have that piece, would you let it go? And if it's life-changing money, will you let it go? Biff says they make record mailers so shipping doesn't have to become a craft time.
Okay, Biff.
That's why we don't sell LPs anymore.
Have you met my cheap husband?
Just keeping her busy. Beard says, I hit the thumbs up twice for both of my sales. You can't hit it twice, darn it. Scrap Alex says, can you transfer item?
Scrap Alec.
Scrap Alec? I don't know.
Scrap Alec.
Can you transfer items from one store to the other? Been thinking about starting another one. With eBay, you cannot. But you can use programs like InkFrog. It's what I would do if I needed to transfer. That's what we did. There are other programs coming. Can't really elaborate any more than that. But there are other features to programs we talk about that are coming that will allow you to do that eventually. So that's kind of what I can say there. Kelly says, yes, I buy 5,000 to 10,000 envelopes at a time. If I had to have enough supplies for 4,000 orders, if I were to use all that up, I would just extend my handling time and order more. Probably the best way to go. Yeah. Duncan's got enough cicadas there. Scrap Alex says, sent a question 3 different times. No biggie. Take it easy. I think we answered the question. We just...
Well, did you skip one?
No, that's the same question. But just look,
items?
sometimes I'm way behind there, Scrap.
Yeah.
You got to be patient with me, man.
Yeah.
But I will get to the new questions. Beard says, Keith, that is my proof he needs to be prompted. What?
Yeah.
Something.
Beard's just talking shit.
Pitco says, Beard, are you kidding me? John could sit there and chat for hours without anyone being there. You're right.
He really could.
Nick Picker gets the record mailers for less than $1. And Curator Thrift, I'm going to use my 300 eBay bucks to get some parts I need for my truck so I can sell it.
Nice.
Get the 56 Ford F100 I have a chance to get.
Awesome.
Yeah.
56 Ford F100.
Beard wants to see me do a show without me reading comments. I don't think he can talk to you all that long. That is your challenge, John, if you choose to accept it. My friend, I can do a show where there's a lot of dead air. Doesn't do well. We lose a lot of viewers. I like to think the reason why we have 150 people that watch the show at any given time is not because of all the morsels of information that they get, is because we keep the show rolling and we keep the folks involved. So that's, to me, I'd rather do a show like this than to do any other different format, just for me. Farmville Pickers, don't you lose the watchers when you end and relist. That loses, you lose it anyway, whether you sell similar or relist, right? You used to be able to keep them. Now, the only difference between relist and sell similar is that you don't have to go and delete the ended items. It's all done for you with relist. You don't get to keep the same item number. You don't get to keep the watchers. You don't get to keep... But I got to tell you, a lot of people who are assigned by eBay as watchers are probably resellers who are just using the item information to build their listing. To me, you have an item they've been sitting on. Why haven't they bought it already? You know, do you really want that item to get stale?
In my opinion, watchers, they don't matter. That's just They're saving it for their own. Let me go back and look at it after.
Yeah.
You know, if I don't find what I'm looking for, I'll come here. I don't put very much stock into those things.
Well, to answer Porkchop's question, what if you have a lot of watchers? Would you still end that item and relist it, or
Yes.
leave it alone and hope that the watchers finally decides to buy it?
No.
Before ending it, I would probably give them a day, and I would go in and reduce my price by at least 5% or more. Maybe, what is the lowest offer I'll take on this item? Reduce it down to that price and let it sit there for a day. All those watchers are going to get a message from eBay saying the item you're watching just got lowered by more than 5%. So after a day, what the hell are they waiting for?
Yeah, I mean, they mean those. They give you false hope that they're going to buy it. They're not buyers. They're just watchers. 9 times out of 10, those are other resellers piggybacking off of your listings. It's not. It doesn't matter. They're not buying it.
I'd rather have that item be fresh in the algorithm's eyes. Now, Biff says the people who know the most about eBay are the people who code Cassini. Next is the full-time sellers. Next after that is a non-tech eBay employee. I would add to that list of, you said people who code Cassini, of course, but I'd add to this list right underneath that the account reps that have to deal with sellers, high-volume sellers that have individual problems, and they have to go in and try to help them figure out the best course of action. I think those folks are the real experts, at least the ones that we can talk to. Beard says, is this what John looks like when he's excited? Man, I tell you, I don't know. Just the way I look right now, I guess. Oh. Crazy eyes. I don't know. We got one free membership.
Oh, look at that.
And
who did it go to?
It's not Bearded Picker, but
Bearded PokeTuber.
That's right. And we got another one from Keith.
And it goes to... Can you go back down, please?
Drum roll.
Jake DeWeert. DeWeert? Sorry.
See, she gets to butcher it, not me. Edit to Flip It says, relist and sell similar are now the same. Both got a new item number and the new listing tag. All you have to do is try it on one item for verification. The difference is, as John said, yes. But again, thank you, Keith, for being awesome to others. And that's cool by sharing the memberships with other people. I appreciate that.
Yes, I am extremely tired. I know you guys can see me yawning. I cannot control it.
Sherman's concerned that here comes the eBay fourth quarter glitch fest.
Right?
Let's hope not.
I hope not either.
I mean, they've got us all excited, right? And what better way to kill that excitement, but with a lot of problems on the platform. Let's hope that's not the case. You all know, as we go into Q4, eBay will start messing with the site again and breaking things that don't need fixing. Yeah. Now you got me all like, here we go. Basket says, Jenna's like, I gotta stay awake. While yawning, we're all falling asleep because of it.
I'm so sorry.
Dave
I am sorry.
Says, just an important update, just a heads up. It's time for a bong hit. Who's gonna join me, man? So when is the second song coming out on your channel? You got Silicone Shadows. And so when is part 2 coming out of that? Beard says he just skipped so many comments he got lost. Yeah. I mean, just people like to critique. People like to critique. Just for the sake of critiquing, I guess. Nick Picker says, I keep only items I or my family needs or would be buying anyways. Otherwise, if it's something I like, I collect it only until it sells. Mm-hmm. You got Grams and Pops. Corey says, watches aren't buyers.
Yes, where's my camera? That's right.
Bearded Picker's playing the extra long version of Silicone Shadows.
No.
Nick Picker says, watchers are not buyers. Maybe a new watcher, but stale watchers mean nothing. Yes, I mean, chances are your watchers they've already bought their item. It's already arrived, and they have that item up on their mantle somewhere, and they could care less about the item you're selling by now. Devon's Jenna's up all night with my oldest dog, not feeling well.
Oh no, I hope your doggy's feeling better.
Biff says one buyer is worth more than 1,000 or 100 watchers. Yes, I don't really,
fact.
honestly, I don't really put a lot of stock in watchers because
I don't either.
think about it like this. People are on eBay. They're shopping for that thing. It's like, ooh, I'm going to watch this item. I'm going to go and
Grams watching.
It's a
not,
Grams.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice to see you, Grams.
So let's talk crap on Corey.
But what
Not
I'm
really,
saying,
'cause
she's
I have
treating me like Primo.
I have nothing to say.
She's treating me
bad.
like Primo treats spam on the live. So in the middle of a sentence, trying to tell somebody,
Sorry.
your people that are clicking, that they're selecting themselves, I'm talking about the ones that choose to be watchers, are like, let me earmark this listing because I'm still shopping for this thing.
Yes.
But if I want to come back to it, it'll still be here. So they're shopping. Oh, here's another one. Shopping. Ooh, this is the one. They buy it. And they forget that they marked you as a watcher.
Yeah.
If they're not buying it within...
Let me tell you, I do that a lot on different platforms that I buy on. And there's a lot of times I never go back.
Craig Wine says, watchers have big heads, are not allowed to buy, interfere with sellers' listings. They can only watch.
Wait, what? Watchers have big heads and are not allowed to... Oh, okay.
Beer says, watchers can be demons. I don't think this is the right show for that. No, that one's for Wednesday show. Paul's merch is, it's like people who like everything on Mercari. It's like Facebook. Yes.
Yes.
Gail says, I watch a lot of items. I can usually get an offer from that seller. Well, about 50% of them. And you watch that item hoping you're going to get a better deal. And after a couple days, look, I still need this item, or would like to have this item. I'm just going to find it for the best price and move on. Duncan says, FEA membership only $999 a week. Funds to Jenna. She is taking the money.
No way.
Yeah, I don't know what FIA is, but good luck with that. Bearded Picker says, eBay shipping was glitching out today, not erasing items shipped from not shipping list. Did you notice that?
Nope, I had no problems with that.
Dave says, I'm an artist, cannot be rushed.
Oh, jeez.
Biff says, we need silicone shadows unplugged.
Oh,
well,
boy.
Dave has silicone shadows. I want him to make silicone shadows the song. Christopher Nutter says, during our fourth quarter, eBay gives top-rated sellers a boost in search. I hope so. That'd be nice.
Is that true?
I don't know, but I hope so. Basketball. If my Android phone vibrates if I get a watcher, it's a cheap thrill in the pocket, so I'm in. Oh, wow. Biff says, how does eBay even qualify a watcher? Maybe if they click on a page and wait more than 5 seconds before they bounce.
Yeah.
It's a mystery. Watchers could be bots. I get offers all the time on listings that I piggyback it off of. So maybe it's you're in that listing a little longer than normal.
Yes.
They're thinking, ooh, look, someone's interested in this item. And it's, look, I'm just trying to sell this item.
Yeah.
Devon says, good night, FA fan.
Good night.
Nick says, the only good thing about watchers is they can sometimes tell you if you got a good item or not. Lots of watcher fast is usually a good item. Yes, that's true. Beard says, I was referring to the watchers from the book of Enoch. That's why this is not the right show.
Oh.
Pickle says, your offers time out after a number of days, so why don't they make watchers time out? They do after 30. You lose them. It's a rolling 30-day period for that listing. Gail says, I usually drop them after 2 days. So I guess the message to take from that is watchers are cool, but they shouldn't prevent you from recycling your listings. Do not allow your listings to get stale. And I'm a big, big advocate of ending your item and doing either a sell similar or a relist to get that new listing tag on your items. So that's where we're going to end it, guys. End it with a little disappointment that if you're expecting eBay to remove your negative feedbacks if you've accepted a free return from somebody or if you've adjusted their refund due to a problem with the item, well, as of the 3rd of September, that's being taken away. And it's yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. I want you guys to have an excellent weekend. You'll see Jenna here in a couple weeks. You'll see me here on Friday. And for those of you who are members, you'll see us or me here on Wednesday. So with that said, guys, have an excellent rest of your week.
Love you guys. Everybody stay safe. And I will see you guys back after, let's see, the 6th, 7th, 8th of September.
Take care, everyone.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy by your side. Sourcing great items is the key to success. Subscribe to the channel and stand above the rest. Focus on the things that are within your control. Hang with flipping ain't easy. Let's roll. Let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks. The name was Scott and Josh. Flipping's more than a game. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy by your side. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks. The name was Scott and Josh. Flipping's more than a game. Let's roll. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy by your side. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy by your side. Let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks. The name was Scott and Josh. Flipping's more than a game. Let's roll. Let's roll.